One of the parts of Super Mario Wonder that receives the most criticism from the community is its lack of bosses, containing only a handful of Bowser Jr. fights, and the final Bowser fight, which is a decision I am personally fine with, as it was a clear trade for quantity versus quality, leaving some of the better designed fights in the 2D Mario series. But obviously, even with that going for it, most people don't agree with that decision. But what if I tried to recreate those same fights in Mario Maker? Maybe by showcasing them in a different game, others would finally see the brilliance in the design of these fights. So, I sought out to do just that, to recreate the Bowser and Bowser Jr. fights from Super Mario Wonder and Mario Maker 2. I decided to start with the Bowser Jr. fight since it would probably be the easier of the two, and let me just mention that I'll be focusing on the final fight against Bowser Jr., not all four. Now the main gimmick of this fight is his ability to create similar looking clones of himself that will attack the player until jumped on. There's two ways I could go about making clones. One is to just add more Bowser Jr.'s, which is the more obvious and also better choice, but the problem with that is you can only have up to 3 of them per area. So yeah, for some reason you can only have a total of 6 Bowser Jr.'s in a level, but 14 Koopalings. Why they didn't just update how many Bowser Jr.'s you can have with the Koopaling update, I've got no clue. So since I couldn't use that option, I fell back to option 2, the only character in Mario Maker who can clone himself, Boom Boom. Sister. Boom Boom sister. It's Pom Pom, who you can have up to 10 of, by the way. Anyway, I just ended up using her as a replacement for Bowser Jr. Matter of fact, I ended up making the entire level using her. Take a look. Now, this was cool and all, but it still didn't feel right. If you've watched my recreation videos, you know I tried to convey the same sensation you have while playing a game in my levels. And that sensation just wasn't present here. The way Pom Pom and Junior behave was just too different for my taste. So eventually I decided to scratch the whole thing and go back to my original option, using multiple Bowser Jr.'s. Making the first part of the fight wasn't tough at all, as it just involves Junior running in his shell and occasionally doing this sort of up special attack. I say it like we're talking about Super Smash Bros. Anyway, I'll use the springs to make Junior jump onto the semi-solids like he does in the actual fight. And with that done, the first phase was complete. So after getting a key and going through a pipe, you would arrive at the next phase. Here, I made the arena dark to represent the dark foreground later on in the fight. And here's a little fun fact, I originally planned on using the Doom sound effect since it applied a low level of grayscale to the screen that could help make it harder to tell the juniors from each other. But during one of my live streams, a friend of mine told me to use the subworld, which gave me the idea of using the Night Ghost House theme, so shout out to Riz for that. I then changed the semi-solids to blue lifts on tracks that would activate when you stood on them, similarly to how semi-solids in the fight would move in the direction you stood on them. Lastly, 2 piranha plants on tracks were added, because in case you didn't know, Junior summons them after a while, and they just kinda walk around the arena. Though nobody sees them because you've already hit him like 10 times. Now after you defeat Junior with the dark foreground and moving semi-solids, the arena goes back to normal, but now he can clone himself, which essentially made it easier to recreate the arena. I still only had access to 2 Bowser Jr.'s, and I had already used one right here. So what did I do? Well, introducing Larry Koopa, Bowser Jr.'s twin brother. Yeah, in the end, I just decided to use the most similar looking Koopaling I could find, which, I mean, it kinda worked, especially after I added the Doom sound effect to make them look closer to the same color. I was desperate, okay? Just give me a break. But on the bright side, this meant that I now had access to more than enough juniors to complete the level. So, yay! Anyway, after defeating those clowns and going through another door pipe transition, you arrive at the final phase where, in the real fight, all elements from the previous phases combine into one. The dark foreground, the moving semi-solids, and the junior clones. So I did the same thing, and voila! Now, it's not exactly the same because I actually removed one of the junior fights, in which I have a very good reason for doing. It was too hard. Like, I call these guys clowns, but they were literally clowning on me with how much I was getting destroyed by these jokers. Oh, and if you're wondering why I had all these spike balls above the Bowser Jr.'s, it was simply because in the fight, each phase starts off with them attacking you in their shell, so having them get hit immediately will result in the same behavior. But yeah, that was the Bowser Jr. fight. Let's look at the end result to see what the fight is like when played in one go. So I don't know how many tries it's gonna take me to beat this, but I'm gonna try and do it on my first attempt, hopefully, because this is quite difficult, even with power-ups. I can't lie. As you can see me struggling on the first fight here. I don't know if I'm gonna have a comparison on the side showing like the actual fight, but if I do, then you guys can see like just how different and similar the fights are. Except for this part, we don't talk about this part. Just imagine that we went straight from here to the next phase. Okay, so here's phase 2. So we still have one Bowser Jr., but now it's dark, and then you got the moving platforms. Okay, first hit taken. We should be good though, I think. Unless I absolutely throw. Here's the piranhas. In my fight, you actually get to see them, so that means my fight is better, by the way. Okay, nice. Nice. What? Dude, I got absolutely destroyed. Okay, we're good though. The checkpoint is coming up. We'll be able to get the checkpoint, get a fire flower, go into phase 3. This is probably going to be the hardest part actually, maybe. I guess it doesn't have the moving semi-slots, so we can just kind of stay low. But still. Bowser Jr., stop this! Stop stepping back. We know he's the one who has the key, right? So we just need to go after him. The Larrys, just one more, yes! The Larrys, they are irrelevant. They are the clones. I meant other juniors, by the way, not Larrys. They're all juniors. Bowser juniors. Okay. At the final phase, hopefully I can do this. Prove my skill, my worth. But yeah, guys, these are actually some really well designed fights in my opinion. So hopefully this makes it more obvious to you all. Okay, come on, dude. No, stop, Bowser Jr. Stop! Please! Okay, what do I do here? I'm just hiding for my life. Jump. What is going on? Yes! Let's go! What a clutch! Let's go! We did it. Boom. Wonder Seed right here. Or Royal Seed, Royal Seed. Take it. And boom. We've done it. Just like that. First try. I think it turned out pretty well. But still, I don't think this will be enough to convince you all that the quality of the Mario Wonder fights makes up for its lack in quantity. I needed something bigger. Something better. Something Bowser. I have a feeling that once you all see the Bowser fight, your opinions on this matter will change. So let's move on to that fight. Now, looking at the Bowser fight, it's obvious that it won't be as simple to make with all of its moving parts. The whole gimmick of the fight revolves around timing your jumps to the rise of these platforms that are in sync with the music playing. Basically, you need good timing and rhythm. So what I did to replicate that same aspect was replace the floor with note blocks, which would act as those launch pads or whatever they are. Next, to show how you needed to time your jumps, I put a layer of on-off blocks above the note blocks, and below that, made a spiny mechanism that would periodically turn the blocks off, allowing you to jump off of them before they swap back on. Doing this meant you needed to get a sense for the timing of the on-off block switching states, because if you weren't prepared to time a high jump when they switched, there would be no second chance in that same cycle. What I'm saying is that you only have one chance to time your jump before the blocks would swap back on, so randomly guessing when they would switch was going to be a recipe for disaster. Now, other than those jump pads, the other elements present in the fight are Bowser himself and his Wonder Hands. To make Bowser himself, I put him at the center of the stage in a chamber where he was inside a clown car. This was to show how in the fight, Bowser had a sort of outer shell protecting him, and his real self was hidden inside of it. To damage that shell, you needed to hit his massive pink chin. which I did by using P blocks that once activated would have Munchers fall from above and crush Bowser. As for the Wonder Hands, I used bricks and shaped them in the form of a claw and had them stay in the corners of the arena. In the fight, these hands shoot out fire piranha plants at the player, and since Mario Maker doesn't have anything like that, no, I'm not going to use a literal fire variant of the piranha plant. I went with lava bubbles and bullet bill launchers that were on tracks, which actually worked pretty well. But of course, this was only phase 1. After hitting Bowser's chin, the fight shifts into a second cycle where Bowser will head into the background and can't be hit, and will shoot fire piranha plants of varying size and lengths that you needed to dodge by either choosing to jump above them or staying low. Or you can be like 99% of players and choose to just damage boost. So I made a subworld where I could continue on the fight because, like Junior, you only get up to 3 Bowsers per area. But I guess it makes more sense in this case, so whatever. What I did for this part of the fight was create a room using the same note block and on-off setup, but below the note blocks I added bullet bill launchers on tracks, and once they reached the player, they would shoot fireballs with wings. Some were fast, others slow, and one was larger than the rest, just like in the actual fight. And by using the auto scroll, I prevented the player from leaving the arena, but at the same time make sure the lava bubbles didn't return after being launched. I'm also pretty sure this is the most useful the auto scroll function has ever been to me, so thanks for that, Nintendo. Anyway, after surviving the assault of fire, you're given a key using this simple spike ball setup. After going to the key door, I put a checkpoint and a pipe back to the main world. This is where phase 2 begins. In this phase, Bowser switches the launch pads, making half of them stay down when the other is launching, which I did by turning half of the on-off blocks into their off state. Bowser also gets a third hand to attack you, so I added a third bullet bill launcher. It's also at this point where I realized that you needed to hit Bowser multiple times to make him move on to the next phase. So what I did was put 5 note blocks that you needed to reach by using the launch pad. Each one had a large spike ball in it, so what you had to do was guide Bowser toward one of the note blocks and hit it so that the spike ball would come out and damage Bowser. Do that 4 times and you'll get a key from him. Also, you only need 4 large spike balls to kill a small Bowser, but there's a seriously good chance that one of the shots will end up missing, so I accounted for that by adding a 5th note block. But if you somehow still miss even with 5 shots, then just consider yourself a skill issue. Now, after getting a key from Bowser, you can make your way back into the subworld where the next cycle will take place. This functioned the exact same way as the previous cycle from phase 1, where Bowser would shoot flaming piranha plants at the player from the background. Except this time it came from both the left and right side.
Daring today, aren't we?
At first, you would think that making a setup for the launches to come from both the left and right would be simple, especially considering how I already made half of it. But it actually wasn't, mainly due to the fact that whenever I tried to create a path for these launches to take, they would interact with either the on-off switch mechanism, causing the beat to go off-sync, or the timer, giving the player an early key. But eventually, I was able to create a route that allowed everything to work smoothly. See, once the first set of launchers finished shooting, the second set would fall down a couple seconds later and repeat the same thing. And to ensure that these fireballs didn't come back, I put a layer of one-ways that would trap the fireballs, except this one big guy right here. He wanted to be special. So anyway, after surviving the onslaught of fireballs, you can go back to the main world where you're brought into phase 3. At this point in the fight, Bowser decides to up the ante again by splitting the already halved launch pads in half, effectively making 3 of each colored pad. I did the same thing and had 3 sets of on and off blocks in the arena, which I'm still kinda surprised I was able to fit in one screen for the most part. Bowser also gains a 4th hand, so I added yet another launcher and made 2 of them red just to make things a little tougher. I also gave Bowser wings to make his movement a little more sporadic and easier to miss. But I also had him get hit twice automatically using these 2 spike balls, reducing the total number of hits needed to kill him down to just 2. In the fight, Bowser also gains the ability to throw massive spike balls using his Wonder Hands. So what I did was replace 2 of the donut blocks with note blocks that the player couldn't hit, but Bowser could. They both had large spike balls with a parachute attached to them and would activate when Bowser flew on it. But the fight itself functioned the exact same way, except that every note block was now covered by a brick block, meaning 2 jumps were required per note block. And in case you were wondering what these brick blocks were supposed to be, they essentially represent how one of Bowser's hands will usually protect his chin, forcing you to break it once before actually getting Bowser. Anyway, after defeating Bowser here, you're given one final checkpoint with a fire flower and spike helmet, which you'll know what that was for soon enough. But first, let's take a look at what happens in the final phase. At this point, Bowser is completely armorless, some would even say naked, and has a massive glistening button atop his head, just screaming "jump on me." But to get to it, you need to climb this set of launch pads which are protected by the Wonder Hands and Bowser himself, who will shoot puffs of Wonder Balls that push you back down if you're not careful. Now, lucky for me, I actually had enough space to recreate this whole thing despite how much screen space Mario Wonder uses. I mean, just look at how big the arena is. Kinda jealous we can't make screens that big in Mario Maker. Anyway, the first layer of note blocks remained the exact same. What I did was add another set of note blocks 7 blocks above and covered it with on-off blocks. You see, I actually chose 7 blocks for a specific reason. The max height you can reach by jumping off of a note block is 7 blocks high. So by putting a layer of on-off blocks above them, I can make it impossible to reach the second set of on-off blocks if the on-offs were switched solid. Then I added the second set another 7 blocks up and did the same thing, but this time making it only 3 blocks, just to add a little more challenge. At this point, you're able to see Bowser, and the final button that needs to be pushed, and by button, I mean note block. This is where I added the Wonder Puff Balls by using bumpers on tracks that would push you off if you weren't careful. Now, I know in the actual fight you need to jump off of the launch pads over to Bowser, but this game is janky, and that just didn't work, so you had to use the bumpers to reach the top, which still worked pretty well. But before making it all the way up there, I still needed something to act as the hands guarding the launch pads, and that's what the spiky shell was for. See, what I did was put munchers on tracks that needed to be killed to go higher, and that could only be done using the spiky helmet, and there you go. I originally planned on using brick blocks that you simply needed to break, but I realized you could easily choose to break 1 or 2 of them and then use the rest as safety platforms in case you fell off. So this just worked much better. But after getting a key from Bowser one last time, you could go back down, enter the key door, and get to the axe. And that was it. The complete Mario Wonder Bowser fight done in Mario Maker 2. So just like with the Junior fight, let's see this in one go. Alright, so we fought Junior, beat him. Not too bad. Now it's time to take on Bowser. Let's see how we do here. Wow, I cannot escape these lava bullets apparently. Yeah, you can't hit me from here. Good. Now? Okay, never mind. Yeah, I need to time my jump. There we go. Perfect. Alright, in the pipe. Alright, first cycle. Hope I don't die here. Sure. Okay, I got hit. That's not good. Wow, I was like doomed to fail right there. Good. Nice. Alright, easy. I don't know why I thought there was gonna be the second part, where the launches come from the left, but that only happens in the second cycle. So we're good for now. Checkpoint. I feel like I should have kept that, but I guess it doesn't really matter since it goes off screen. Yeah, alright. Okay, can I just say that I was pushing left there because I knew for a fact I was gonna get hit, and I just it did not go to the left. I was just stuck there on that one note block. But it's fine. You know, hit that right now. I did not want to hit that either. This is not good. I missed 2 shots. Okay. I think I lose here. Maybe. Do I have one more? I don't think so. No. Oh, he died. Oh, was it because of the bombs? I'm gonna have to fix that. Okay, well that's good. At least we got the key. Alright, second cycle. This is the one I was talking about. Boom. Nice. Oh, okay, dodge. Alright, we're good. No, what are you doing? Sure. Okay, third. Boom. Nice. Nice, that was easy. I don't even need the firefly. Nice. Okay. Boom. Oh my. Okay. This is fine. Kill him. One more jump. Or two more. Right now. Never mind. Alright, we wait. No, dude, I am throwing right now. Actually throwing. Embarrassing. Okay, boom, boom, boom. There we go. Get the key, nice. Nice. Alright, in the door. So now that I made these two fights in Mario Maker, does the quality of them make up for their lack thereof? Let me know in the comments. And if you still don't get why I recreated these fights, well, it was simply to show the design of them. It's clear to me that Nintendo put a lot more thought into the design of the Bowser and Bowser Jr. boss fights than usual, especially when compared to the other fights that exist within the 2D Mario series. I mean, even the final fight from New Soup Deluxe is just a Koopaling battle, but instead of jumping on Bowser, you use a clown car. So hopefully you guys can get a better understanding of how just brilliantly designed these fights from Mario Wonder were done. But speaking of Wonder, I actually made a whole other video talking about if that game could make it into Mario Maker 2 as a style. And it's not just Mario Wonder. I talk about Odyssey, Sunshine, and even more games and if they can make it in. So if you're curious about that, then click the video on screen. But anyways, until next time, bye!